0427 a.m., April 14, 2024, Strait of Hormuz, 23 nautical miles southeast of the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group. Iranian Navy Kilo-class submarine B-877, hull designation 941, achieved firing solution on CVN-72. Depth, 87 meters. Distance, 4,200 meters. Torpedo type, Test 71 MKE wake homing. 533 millimeters diameter. Warhead capacity 205 kilograms. What transpired in the following 11 minutes would validate 2 decades of anti-submarine warfare investment totaling $14.7 billion. This is the documented sequence of a subsurface threat engagement that redefined deterrence protocols across 3 fleets. 0427 a.m. and 33 seconds. TB-37 towed array sonar aboard USS Princeton, CG-59. Detected cavitation signature bearing 187 degrees. Acoustic profile matched Kilo-class propulsion at 6.4 knots. Range calculated 11,200 meters. Princeton's SQQ-89 AV-15 system classified contact as hostile submarine with 91% confidence. 0428 a.m. Strike Group Commander authorized weapons-free status. 2 SH-60R Seahawk helicopters from HSM-71 diverted from patrol pattern Alpha 3. Flight time to target zone, 4 minutes 20 seconds. Lincoln maintained course 042, speed 18 knots. No evasive maneuvers initiated. 0429 a.m. and 14 seconds. Submarine 941 released single torpedo. Launch transient detected simultaneously by Princeton's hull-mounted sonar and Lincoln's AN/SQS-53C system. Torpedo motor activation confirmed 2.7 seconds post-launch. Initial bearing, 184 degrees relative to Lincoln. Estimated time to impact at 45 knot speed, 6 minutes 17 seconds. The Iranian calculation assumed a 72% probability of successful strike. Every variable in that equation was about to fail. In 0429 a.m. and 41 seconds, USS Chaffee DDG-90, positioned 3,100 meters northwest of submarine contact, launched single RUM-139VLASROC. Vertical Launch System Cell B-17. Rocket motor burn time, 23 seconds. Payload, Mark 54 lightweight torpedo. Guidance system active/passive acoustic homing. Parabolic trajectory apex, 1,840 meters altitude. Splashdown coordinates calculated for 280-meter intercept zone ahead of hostile submarine's projected course. 0430 a.m. Seahawk Romeo 3 arrived on station. Deployed AN/AQS-22 airborne low-frequency sonar buoy pattern in rectangular grid, 400-meter spacing. 6 buoys active within 90 seconds. MAD sensor detected metallic mass anomaly bearing 189 degrees. Depth estimated 82 to 95 meters. Submarine 941 maintained course. Speed reduced to 4.1 knots. Attempting to minimize acoustic signature while torpedo guidance continued. 0431 a.m. and 08 seconds. ASROC payload entered water 340 meters ahead of submarine track. Mark 54 torpedo motor activated immediately. Descent rate, 12 meters per second. Active sonar ping initiated at 60-meter depth. Target lock achieved in 4.8 seconds. Torpedo homing sequence engaged. Closing speed differential, 41 knots. 0432 a.m. Iranian torpedo passed 2,800-meter mark from Lincoln. AN/SLQ-25 Nixie tow decoy system deployed from carrier's stern. Acoustic signature emission intensity, 147% of actual carrier profile. Torpedo guidance diverted 3.2 degrees toward decoy. Lincoln's SLQ-25AI transmitted acoustic interference pattern matching carrier's propeller cavitation signature at 600-meter cable extension. What happened in the next 94 seconds would be studied in every naval warfare college for the following decade. 04:33 a.m. and 14 seconds. Mark 54 torpedo from ASROC weapon detonated 11 meters from submarine 941's pressure hull, port side amidships. Warhead, 43.9 kilograms, PBXN 103 explosive. Detonation pressure wave, 68,000 pounds per square inch at point of contact. Hull breach confirmed across 4.2 meter section between frames 37 and 42. Catastrophic flooding initiated in battery compartment and auxiliary machinery space 2. 04:33 a.m. and 29 seconds. Emergency blow system activated aboard submarine 941. High pressure air released into forward and aft ballast tanks. Submarine began uncontrolled ascent at 8.3 meters per second. Torpedo guidance to Iranian weapon lost due to electrical system failure. Weapon continued on last known bearing at reduced speed. 38 knots. Guidance loop severed. 04:34 a.m. Iranian torpedo passed within 340 meters of Nixie decoy. Proximity sufficient for warhead detonation had guidance remained active. Weapon continued on ballistic trajectory for additional 1,870 meters before running out of fuel. Impacted ocean floor at depth of 94 meters, bearing 067 degrees from Lincoln's position. No detonation. Safety interlock prevented warhead activation without valid target acquisition. 04:35 a.m. and 06 seconds. Submarine 941 surfaced catastrophically at 31-degree angle. Conning tower breached surface at uncontrolled rate. Visible damage to hull plating across port quarter. Seahawk Romeo, 3 illuminated submarine with AN/AAQ-22 SASP infrared targeting sensor. Visual confirmation. Heavy list to port, 18 degrees. Personnel visible, evacuating through forward escape trunk. 04:36 a.m. USS Chaffee assumed direct tactical control. Main gun turret, 5-inch Mark 45 Model 4, trained on submarine bearing 191 degrees, range 2,240 meters. Fire authorization withheld. Submarine 941 transmitted emergency distress signal on International Maritime Frequency, 2,182 kilohertz. Crew abandoning vessel confirmed via visual observation, not a kill. A calculated demonstration of capability, overmatch so comprehensive that kinetic destruction became unnecessary. 04:38 a.m. 17 crew members evacuated into water. Life rafts deployed from submarine's deck storage compartments. Sea state, 2 to 3 feet. Visibility 14 nautical miles. Water temperature 24 degrees Celsius. Submarine settling rapidly by stern. Forward compartments retaining buoyancy temporarily. Lincoln Strike Group maintained alert status. CAP aircraft overhead at 18,000 feet. FA-18E Super Hornets from VFA-25. Weapons hot. 04:42 a.m. Romeo 3 Seahawk dropped rescue collar and flotation devices to Iranian sailors. Rescue swimmer not deployed due to hostile force consideration protocols. Iranian Navy fast attack craft departing Bandar Abbas Naval Base detected by Lincoln's AN/SPY-1D radar. Range 37 nautical miles, bearing 342 degrees, speed 34 knots. Estimated arrival 52 minutes. Chaffee maintained weapon solution on submarine hull. 04:47 a.m. Submarine 941 stern section fully submerged. Forward pressure hull remaining above surface at extreme angle. 64 degrees bow up. Complete sinking imminent. All crew personnel accounted for in water. 3 life rafts deployed and occupied. No casualties visible from aerial observation. 04:51 a.m. and 38 seconds. Hull of submarine 941 disappeared beneath surface. An air bubble eruption marked final descent. Depth to seabed, 94 meters. Vessel came to rest upright on keel according to subsequent sonar mapping conducted 7 hours post-incident. Total time from torpedo launch to submarine loss, 22 minutes, 24 seconds. Lincoln Strike Group resumed standard patrol operations. Iranian rescue vessels arrived on scene at 5:39 a.m. All 17 crew members recovered without U.S. assistance. Medical evaluation conducted aboard Iranian vessels indicated 2 cases of minor hypothermia, no serious injuries. International water status prevented legal detention of Iranian personnel. The strategic recalibration began before the rescue was complete. Within 6 hours, Iranian Naval Command issued fleet-wide directive: all submarine operations within 40 nautical miles of U.S. The carrier groups prohibited without explicit authorization from Supreme National Security Council. Deterrence achieved without a single offensive round fired at personnel. 72 hours post-incident, Department of Defense released partial declassification of engagement timeline. Specific acoustic detection ranges redacted. Torpedo guidance countermeasure specifications classified. ASROC engagement geometry published as case study material for Allied navies. Message clarity, 100%. 11 days later, Iranian Defense Minister publicly stated Submarine 941 suffered mechanical malfunction during routine training. No mention of torpedo launch. No acknowledgement of U.S. engagement. The silence confirmed what the data already proved. What happened at 04:27 a.m. on April 14th was not about destroying a submarine. It was about precision measurement of the gap between capability and perception. Iranian naval planning assumed detection ranges of 4,000 to 6,000 meters based on export model sonar performance data. Actual U.S. detection occurred at 11,200 meters, 87% beyond their operational assumption. They calculated 6-minute torpedo run provided insufficient reaction time for effective countermeasures. Actual U.S. response time from detection to weapons release, 87 seconds. The mathematics were unforgiving. Iranian doctrine relied on subsurface approach enabling first strike advantage. That advantage evaporated the moment Princeton's towed array detected cavitation at twice the expected range. Every subsequent Iranian action occurred inside a response envelope where U.S. systems maintained consistent overmatch. Torpedo launch, detected instantly. Submarine position, triangulated within 90 seconds. ASROC weapon, in flight before Iranian torpedo crossed halfway to target. Modern anti-submarine warfare does not depend on luck. It depends on sensor density, processing speed, and weapons geometry that transforms ocean volumes into cataloged quadrants where stealth becomes mathematically impossible. Submarine 941 entered an environment where 7 acoustic sensors maintained overlapping coverage across 94 square nautical miles, 18 aircraft within 12-minute response radius, 4 surface combatants with active fire control solutions updated every 2.3 seconds. The carrier never maneuvered because maneuvering was unnecessary. Lincoln's defensive envelope extended 18 nautical miles in all directions. The Iranian torpedo never penetrated the outer 40% of that protected zone. The threat neutralization occurred 16,800 meters from the carrier's hull. Distance matters. Subsequent analysis by third-party naval experts calculated Iranian submarine survival time inside a U.S. carrier defense zone at 11 to 17 minutes, depending on initial detection range. Submarine 941 lasted 22 minutes, only because weapons authorization protocols required human confirmation at 4 separate command levels. Automation would have reduced that timeline by 60%. This is how deterrence functions in an era where sensors process acoustic data faster than human cognition. Not through displays of raw firepower, through demonstrations that the ocean is no longer opaque, that stealth is conditional, and that launch authority means nothing when the enemy detects your weapon before your crew confirms firing solution. 17 Iranian sailors survived April 14th because the U.S. prioritized capability demonstration over destruction. That choice delivered a strategic message worth more than any wreckage analysis. The Strait of Hormuz remains an operational environment where subsurface threats exist. But after 0427 a.m., every Navy operating in those waters understood. Detection happens first. Response happens faster. And the margin for miscalculation has collapsed to zero.